Greetings, fellow Hyperions. I am Ashtarothi, and once again, I find myself on Singularity. So today, they made a change to Singularity. They added in some stuff, but most importantly, for me, they added in the inside, or the full part of the Frostline event. So now we can actually run the Frostline event. So let's go ahead and do that. So I posted an article the day before all this happened, and then today a scope video came out that's kind of setting the tone for what's going on. More or less what's happened is Yanni, I don't remember his full name, was he was the guy who created Outer Ring Excavations. And a few years ago, like about 10 years ago, he finally stepped down as kind of the CEO and just became a major shareholder. And in the process, there's some Serpentis guys out here. In the process, he appointed a guy named Orion to be the leader of Ore. So then, after a couple of years, the relationship between Ore and the Mortis Legion started to go south, and so the Mortis Legion is a organization that you may have heard of. They have really cool ships that go fast and shoot missiles. They actually are a mercenary organization within EVE that dates back to the Caldari Galente War. They're not necessarily as piratey as you would expect pirates to be. They're actually fairly honorable, I guess, as far as their contracts go. So they were kind of the security detachment for Ore. And from what I've been able to gather, it seems almost as if Orion sort of used Mortis Legion as kind of his personal, muscle, and attacked Serpentis with them. And it was kind of known that after some time, the relationship between Ore and Mortis Legion kind of began to sour, and Yoni actually blames Orion and his choices for that kind of loss of friendship or loss of business relationship. And then about 2 years after that happened, the Serpentis actually just bought outright the Ore organization. So now the Serpentis are the owners and operators of Ore. They replaced the entire cabinet. They took over Ore through hostile takeover. And Yoni has kind of vowed ever since then to take it back. So if you were paying attention, Yoni is the founder of Upwell Consortium, so obviously he has been spending the last couple of years making some pretty powerful friends throughout the empires, and now he is back, and it seems like the first thing on his agenda is to take back his old organization. So Mortis Legion attacked every single Ore facility simultaneously directly after buying up all the shares. So basically they became the rightful owners of Ore again, and then they kicked out the Serpentis. So that brings us to what we're kind of looking at, where we're at right now. Obviously there's probably some more going on between now and the actual drop of the patch, but we're at where we're at. So the big question is, if the Serpentis just got kicked out and got their butts kicked more or less, why are they here? And what is Frostline? Well, Frostline, let's see if, I don't know whether or not they put this in here yet. Yes, they did. So here is the Endurance. The Endurance, if you look at the description, it says the Endurance is being released under Ore's Frostline branding and combines improved ice mining systems with well-proven mining frigate capabilities. And this is not even just like some fluff. I mean, this is a big deal. Frostline is right here. It is like Ore. The logo is down here, but where normally you would see the logo for Ore, you see Frostline. So this is not insignificant. So whatever this is, it's kind of important. So originally I suspected that Frostline was going to be made by the Serpentis for some whatever reason. One of the things that's interesting to note is that these ice mining frigates seem to be specifically designed to mine ice in the new shattered wormholes, because the shattered wormholes have ice. They can only allow frigates, so therefore you can't bring normal mining barges. These guys seem perfectly equipped to do that. So, but, you know, ore now belongs to Upwell again, or at least Yoni again, and the idea is that they'll probably move on over to be part of Upwell. So what does that mean? And the answer is I don't know. It's entirely possible that Frostline was something that was being worked on by the Serpentis prior. This could be a contingency plan, because this site is known as Operation Frostline Target. So maybe it's a target because the Serpentis are trying to take things back, but that doesn't really make any sense, because if you look, the structures here are Serpentis research facilities and fortified Serpentis bunkers. So this is definitely a Serpentis stronghold. So maybe once they kind of seize back, or they start finding out that the Serpentis has been up to something, which leads into some other really cool questions. Because, so for instance, in the data mining, I don't have it available right now, but one of the big things that we found, actually I think Uriel was the one that found it. I'm just going to give him credit for it because he finds so much of this stuff. So the drifter elements. So in each of the drifter wormholes there is a hive, which is kind of this fortified structure, which you've seen all the pictures of. That is the big, huge ring structure. And inside of that there is a container, and you have to get a key from a different hive. So you have to beat a hive, get the key, go to a different hive, and use the key in that different hive in order to unlock these things. And inside of them is some sort of element, and that element is named after the hive. So there's like the Barbican hive, there's the... Oh, I'm not even going to embarrass myself by trying to remember that stuff. So there's the 5 different hives. Each one of them has a different element. And now there is what's called the coalesced element. And on top of that, there's also some hints as to what it might be used for, which is a new set of drugs, a new set of boosters, drifter boosters. Now, it's pretty widely known that the king of drug manufacturing are, in fact, the Serpentis organization. So it's really possible, it's my suspicion, that the Serpentis are actually actively trying to figure out what's going on with these drifters and trying to get more information. And it's entirely possible what Operation Frostline is or was, but it's a little bit too early to tell. Either way, the actual structures themselves, for those of you who don't care about any of this lore stuff, as you can see, the outside was very similar to the Blood Raider sites in the fact that there was 3 waves of frigates and then the gate unlocked. And now inside, I am on my 2nd wave of cruisers. I would like to point out that there is no battle cruiser. In the Blood Raider sites, you would warp in and there'd be 1 wave of cruisers and a battle cruiser. You would shoot, and the person that destroyed the battle cruiser, the rule was that killing blow on the battle cruiser got the skin, and the person who killed, or the person that looted the battle cruiser possibly got the booster. And of course the booster was super valuable. So this time around, as you can see, there is no battle cruiser. There's this bunker, there's some... This thing is slave transport. We're going to blow some stuff up here in a little bit, but first we're going to kill these Serpentis. So I'm on my 2nd wave of cruisers. They're a little bit tougher, and there's, you know, obviously more of them because each wave is as big as it was, like the full room was in the previous one, although I might be mistaken. I didn't actually get a chance to run very many of the Blood Raider sites because I was in Vegas. Interestingly enough, I was orbiting him, and it used to be, I thought it used to be that if you were orbiting and the person died, you just stopped, and I just started just burning away without turning. So I don't know if that's different. I'm gonna have to try that in Tranquility to see whether or not that's actually a change or not. I do know that, like, I've had lots and lots of problems. Maybe that's approach, when I'm approaching. That, like, they blow up and then I just stop moving. That's always made me frustrated. Alright, so the final cruiser of the second wave is about to die. Boom. And now we've got the third wave. Okay, so we've got a third wave. Let's go ahead and wax these guys. Let's see, anything else that's really important to know? The Mortis Legion and the Serpentis have fought before. Mortis Legion, actually, when Orion was doing his thing, he actually invaded a Serpentis area, and the Mortis Legion fought the Angels, the Guardian Angels, which is a detachment of the Angel Cartel, which is basically the security detachment of Serpentis. But obviously, as you can see here, the Serpentis are defending themselves in this case, so they are not calling upon the Angels to help out yet. The other thing to note is, oh, I was talking to somebody about the Intaki Syndicate, or better yet, the Intaki Bank. So the Intaki Syndicate are obviously kind of shady, but the Intaki Bank is kind of like the criminal version of the Swiss bank, effectively. But Mordu actually has a lot of connections with the Intaki Bank, so like they do security for them as well. So it's very possible that, you know, Yoni's connection with Mordu got him kind of in good with the Intaki Bank, which is why they're part of it. Oh, the other thing is, which is really exciting, is Arcombine, or Arcombine, the Arcombine organization. So Arcombine was mentioned in the latest kind of blog and video. You know, the Mortis Legion kind of called upon Arcombine in order to, you know, get some stuff done, and the only thing that they said about it was basically they assured that the Arcombine would not be used on Caldari Prime, which of course Mordu is also busy working on Caldari Prime. So in the cleanup efforts there. So Arcombine is a group of disillusioned clone soldiers from Dust. So they're an NPC organization within Dust. But the key is that we know almost nothing about these guys. The only thing that we really know about them is this blurb that says, the Arcombine is a splinter group of disillusioned clone soldiers. Betrayed by the nations they swore to serve, they now seek independence and the means to undo what has been done to them. Their ranks are comprised of clone soldiers from all 4 of the major factions, which implies that they are kind of earlier clone soldiers. Probably not as early as the Templars, so their implants are probably not messed up like the original Templars were. Oh, and here we go. So now, in the very end, there is the battle cruiser. So after 3 waves of cruisers, so 3 waves of cruisers, now we get a Serpentis battle cruiser. And once again, this is the loot pinata for this match. So we go here, we shoot up this guy, and we'll see what we get. So, at any rate, the Arcombine are very interesting in the fact that, first of all, they're Dust soldiers, and so, you know, for those of you who have been thinking that Dust is dead, or that CCP is done with Dust, guess what? They're bringing them up. So that's interesting to say the least. But also, these particular clone soldiers are kind of unknowns in the universe right now. So the fact that they're being brought in as key players and being talked about in the stuff, you know, that's going to be something that we want to pay close attention to, because we know, like I said, we know very little to almost nothing about these guys. I'm pretty sure they were created for one of the original Dust, like, early events. But yeah, we don't know. All right, so let's see what we got. Turn off our, and then let's take out this bunker while we're at it. Oh, come on. Okay, so the bunker doesn't appear to be destroyable. Man, I'm just not lucky. This is the same thing that I got last time. This seems to be the basic set, right? So you get, let's look at them. Show info, The first is the female Serpentis shirt, which is pretty darn awesome looking. The other is the male Serpentis shirt. And finally, one thing of Quaif Zero, which is a drug that was given away years ago. Oh man, like 40 years ago this stuff was given away in mass quantity, and it just never, they never gave it away again, although here it is. So we have Quaif Zero again. Maybe that'll help stabilize the market a little bit or bring it down a little bit. Looks like none of these structures are destructible, so that's about it. What is this? Nope, a lookout. Alright, no, nothing useful there. Alright, so there you have it. Other things that I've heard being reported is like sleeves, kind of like let's see, apparel, like these things, like the cybernetic arms. I heard about those. Somebody mentioned an implant, which I don't really know that much about yet. And I also saw a synthesized X instinct, so possibly some other minor drugs. We'll just have to see. So, and it seems to be random, and I seem to be unlucky. So that about does it. That is Operation Frostline, at least phase 1 of it. This is the Operation Frostline target, and maybe some information about it. I hope you guys find this interesting, and hopefully this will continue to build on each other and continue to move forward in this living story that CCP seems to be making. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in space.